Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Story number 1, The Custodian, written by IMOE Reset. Humans, from time they learned how to use stones as weapons to the time they developed the atomic bomb, were always the same. Brutal, disregarded, warmongering against each other, and so they strive to be better than their cruelty. They tucked away their dark side in chains, locked in a maximum security cell, and the keys are kept by the warden known by the name of humanitarianism. So when they took to the stars and developed FTL travel, they found out what they were only FTL-capable species in the galaxy. They encountered other sapient life, uplifted them, and kept them safe from danger like how a mother protects her children. Humanity watched the alien races grow, and despite the many conflicts that occurred in the course of human expansion, materialism, and cultural differences, the humans overcame all of those obstacles and spurred forward with blazing engines and undying drive. The humans created the Milky Way Federation, the successor to the United Nations, where the humans and the alien races treated each other as equal. Like any great undertaking, it was fraught with challenges and obstacles, but the humans, being the stubbornly determined race they are, broke through those, and eventually the Federation was cemented. The existence of the human drive, ambition, curiosity, and determination made it so that the intergalactic travel was not only possible, but reliable, affordable, fast, and efficient. The humans encountered more races, uplifted them again, overcame all barriers, and integrated them. The stubborn ones were subjugated under the military might of humanity and reformed, while the more peaceful ones were welcomed. Thousands of years passed, tens of thousands of years, then millions, then billions, then hundreds of billions, and the humans kept expanding. Soon after, the universe in its entirety was explored and brought under their control. But they were not content. So they twisted, turned, punched, burned, sliced, pounded, and then shredded physics to break the barriers of the universe and create pathways to other universes, confirming the multiverse theory. So they did to other universes what they had done to their own: explore, expand, uplift, integrate, protect. Trillions of years turned into quadrillions, and with the effort of countless individuals, the humans rose to prominence never thought possible. But then, the humans thought to themselves, did we really protect the alien races? Weren't we just invading their freedom of direction? Were we uplifters, or were we dictators under the pretext of enlightenment, justice, and equality? Humanity as a whole started to doubt the choice of their actions. Were they right, or were they very, very wrong? And they had just realized it. The humans, in the end, believed the latter. Over the course of centuries, humans along with their properties would start disappearing from small groups to entire sectors. The alien races realized it too late, for when the last and largest batch of humanity disappeared from the Federation, they were left lost, confused, empty, and somehow despairing. Humanity never provided an example. No trace of humanity would be found, and over the generations they would be reduced or heightened to many forms. Chosen people of the gods, divine messengers, a fallen race, a mere myth or legend, or demons that were recalled to whatever underworld they came from. Humanity moved to another plane of existence, one that is in parallel with baseline reality. From there, they would watch over the multiverse and its myriad of races. They no longer saw the alien races as equals, but they saw them as something that they have to protect, not as a mother would to her children, but akin to a human would do to a beloved pet. They forsake living in the multiverse to protect the multiverse not only from the unknown threats that may besiege them, but also from the humans themselves should their warden, known as humanitarianism, fail its duty. They forsake the name of humans and adopted the name of custodians. They would establish the multiverse custodianship. And so, my son, that is why we, the Z-Treks, admire the humans and continue to record all of history the best we can. That is why war becomes impossible, as leaders of the sides of war simply stand down for seemingly no reason. That is why the extra-dimensional invaders were wiped out by a ghost fleet. That is why the supernova of Vesali Aurolus seemingly stopped in time, allowing for people to the system to completely evacuate before actually going supernova. That is why we no longer have weapons of war, but weapons of law and order and weapons of peacekeeping. Son, various things that we perceive as miracles and supernatural events are not actually so. It is the doing of the Custodians in the parallel plane, watching over us as the guardians of the unknown, the abhorrent, and the unexpected. We are indebted to them, for without them we may have just collapsed under all the chaos. And although the Milky Way Federation is but a fragment of the past, their existence, originally intended as an entity for unity, is no longer necessary. I would have liked for the Federation to remain standing, however. So my son, be kind to the people you meet, or you might not know a custodian is amongst them, disguised to be like us. Who knows, you may get their blessings and goodwill. End of story. Story number 2. Siege Break, written by Hypothetical Shuggoth. The siege on 12 Coruscating Chimes trade station wasn't going terribly well. The small flotilla of shining exemplar, core-world conclave, corrective fleet vessels, currently holding an interdiction formation around the planetoid that the station rested on, slowly maneuvered around it in its path, holding significant in their rights, would assert it as going exceptionally well. But they were outvoted by the station's residents. A poll was taken, and the negative reviews were piling up, all negative and advising others to avoid purchasing such a siege. Conclave Services priests were responding to each negative review, soothing those stuck on the wrong side of the siege with assertions that it was, in fact, entirely justified. Perhaps their future incarnations would know better than to permit their station master to serve tea harvested from the north-facing slope of an odd-numbered day, especially when the stars and planets in all the system of such important, yes, even the secret ones, were in such an inauspicious alignment. But if those sinners bequeath their worldly assets to the Conclave, they may be able to avoid a few corrective incarnations as lesser vermin. Except for any rim-ward Conclave congregants. They were, sadly, consigned to an eternity at the mercy of the prismatic nebula wraiths, due to their false pope's claims that pre-bagged tea was an acceptable alternative if no other options were available. That was about the point the station occupants decided that they weren't going to get any helpful answers from the orbiting forces and started routing their way through emergency manuals. The food reserves were spent, and the boot vendors were running low on stock. In desperation, the administration went through ancient physical contact lists, sobbing as their options dwindled. At the back of the tome of contact information, there was a card with a com code and the text, "For when morale is at its bleakest." The circumstances seemed to fit. The superintendent took responsibility and made the call. At first, there was cheery music. Then an alien voice chirped out the organization's greeting in Gal Standard. After a brief negotiation, the request went out, and a timer began counting down. 30 minutes. The Conclave may not have been allowed to simply bombard the station into artistically pleasing rubble, but they had shown far less reluctance on testing weapon systems and fire patterns on anyone attempting to break the siege. They apparently caught the transmission as it was hyper-netted past, as they redoubled their patrols with several of their faster ships heading to the system's jump gate to intercept the incoming aid. They were just too slow. 7 minutes, 30 seconds. The ship that tore through the jump gate must have been spun through an accelerated jump, as it had the beginnings of a relativistic bloom glowing about its longer extremities and drive coils. It proceeded to carom around the solar system, bleeding off speed into gravity wells, until its distinctive heraldry became the proper colors once again. Atmospheres burned as energy was dumped, and the craft neared its destination from an angle clear of the bulk of the patrols. One final energy jump accomplished by the deft hull-to-hull abrasion that sent the nearest patrol craft spinning, and the craft came in for its landing. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 37 seconds. So, that's 100 regulars, 200 vegetarian, 5 vegan, and 1 seafood extravaganza. 50 extra large meat apocalypse, 3 stuffed crust pickled deep fried double everythings, and 1 Hawaiian style on your regular tab, right? The helmeted figure stood at the door of the cargo bay, seemingly unaware of the mayhem plainly visible on the daylit sky behind it. That's right. Wait. Hawaiian style? Several of the superintendent's ventral visual fronts focused in on one of the executives behind it. Are you trying to call in the volcano lower down on us again? Not my fault that none of you know a good thing when you stick it in your food holes. Grumbling, the superintendent focused back on the Pizza Con delivery pilot and palmed the 100-cred chit into its hand. Thanks for the prompt response. It'll be daily order until this upstarts get the message and move along. The human teen examined the chit, then pocketed it with eagerness obvious despite the environmental suit. Sweet! Well, you're in good hands, especially if you tip. End of story. I would quickly like to thank the Tier 5 members, Marky, Cam Maxwell, Caspar Arnolds, Oakfield, Lord Azrakul, and it's difficult to pronounce. Thank you very much.